Hello. Oh, everything's picking up. Literally everything. Ugh, my keyboard's so far. Oh wait, mobile live dash. Wait, hold on, Twitch. That might actually be helpful. First useful Twitch notification. Creator dash stream. Oh my god, stream IRL. Oh, cool. My stream manager. I probably shouldn't be showing that on stream. Actually, it's fine. It doesn't have anything important. Bro, every single one of my clicks was being picked up. Maybe I turned my gain knob a little too high. Which one is it? Oh god. That was me turning it up. I was trying to turn it down, and I definitely turned it up. Okay, so if I like talk like this, I'm good. Yeah. If I start mumbling, does it cut me out? Yeah, it does kind of start me out. I could just detach my microphone and put it on the actual other stand over here. But I'm lazy. Or, better yet. Better yet. The most crisp, awesome microphone.
Yo, what's up, chat? What is good? It's so bad. It's so crunchy. Oh my god. Okay. Also, I just realized the music is way too loud because I was listening to it louder. My bad. I did not mean to have the music that loud. Sorry. Oh, let me get off the crunchy mic.
Okay, we're back. Hey Ash. Hi Cass. Okay. Sorry, my method of reading chat here is kind of ass. I think I can, if I just make it a little bit bigger, fine. Should be fine. Yeah, maybe just increase the font size. Is that better? Oh, that's so much better. Actually, that was too much. That was too much. Not that it just happened, but random pet peeve I just realized. You ever just like be on a website or anything and then like you're scrolling and then you happen to mouse over like a field and then scrolling changes the number of whatever you're doing? I hate that. I hate when just scrolling somehow changes something without me clicking on it first. It's annoying as shit. Anyway. How's everyone's weekend been? And just week, I guess. I intended to stream yesterday, but I was fucking eepy and I got back at 9 p.m. instead of... I thought I'd get back at like 3, so... that did not happen. Uggies, that's how it's been. Uggies. Real. So, the plan today... In case you weren't aware already from the obvious title. I have a gingerbread house that I completely forgot about for like 2 months. I was gonna do this in December, and then I kind of just put it. I was gonna do it for Valentine's Day, and then that didn't happen, and then I, left to Canada for 2 weeks, and then I had a job for a week and a half, and I didn't have a job, and then I just left to Oregon again for like 2 days. And also, it expires soon. Best if used by May 31st, 2026. So I figured why not build it before the best by date is gone by. Although my hope is that the building of the gingerbread house will be kind of in the background, what I'm actually doing, because let me I'll pull up my my Google Keep notes for this. I had to kind of, I still didn't even like fully finalize the notes, but I will. It's enough that I'm good to tell it all. But this I'll show you just this. I'm not gonna go over this, but these are my notes for it. These are just the notes. My terrible fucking travel story. Also, I'm gonna turn the music down a little bit more. Oh my god, I'm not that Freddy. I'm imagining a guy who buys a gingerbread house and then just scarfs the whole thing without assembling it. I don't know if this guy actually does, but the thought is terrifying. I'm sure it does. I'm sure they do. I'm sure many people like that exist. Oh yeah, I got a new phone case. It's red. Yeah, so my goal is to be basically building this in the background. Although, knowing me, there's no way I'm going to be able to focus on building a house and telling a story at the same time. So we're going to be flip-flopping. Although, I have a secret, alternate thing here. Except that I'm stupid. Forgot to do this. Alright, black square. You're going to be wondering what the black square is. It's me, but on a webcam. This is gonna be the alternate. Wow, it's so bright. Holy fuck, bro, it's so bright. Is that just how it is? That's just how it is. Just not allowed to change that, I guess. There we go. That's better. That's better. Anyway, this is going to be the alternate, the close-ups shots of the gingerbread house. Although for the time being, table. Actually, can I just do it like this? Yeah, that'll be if I do it like that. Okay. Okay. I think we're good to go. I think we're good to begin. Oh, so I have my tools first. Very important to go over. Paper towels, scissor, and a towel. That's it. That's all I got. It's a fucking gingerbread house. What more do you want from me? Also, I want a different song. Go away. Not that one either. Perfect. Okay. Well, I'm gonna start opening this, and again, my goal is to have the gingerbread house be kind of in the background and not the focus. Also, let me know if my voice is like cutting out and shit. I'm gonna try. I'm projecting my voice a lot right now, but I might tamper down a little bit. Tamper down? Is that a term that anyone uses? Some paper towels are snack on while you work. Exactly, you get it. We've done enough of these at this point that I think you understand. Where should we begin? I guess I should probably begin with what this even is. This story is this was March 16th, I believe. It was the day I went to go to Canada to visit Salem. Ow. Did I just cut my finger opening a box? What the fuck is wrong with me? Anyway, yeah, it's a terrible travel story. And, what I like to call the worst 24 hours of my life. Because it basically was, with how much stress and just terribleness was in there, but it sure makes for a funny story, which is why I put it off telling it for so long. Well, actually, there's another reason I put off telling it for so long, which I will get into later. Wait, is this even? Just a bag, just a goop bag. Not even like a piping thing. Anyway, that thing came out like a fucking meteor. Wow, I can already tell I'm not gonna be able to do both at once. Cut the corner, silly, and you should know this. Well, I know, but the other ones that I've done in the past just like are already in like a piping thing, and it has like a top, and then you just cut the top off, and it's like already in there. Merry Christmas, Apple. You don't celebrate it that much, or pretty much at all normally, and now you're celebrating it again. Anyway, I should probably set the stage. What were my notes here? Okay, so on the way to Canada, March 16th, I have 2 connecting flights to get there, because Salem lives in the middle of fucking nowhere. And why am I flattening this box right now? Why is this moving? So I have a flight that goes from here to Vancouver Airport, which is a very, very popular Canadian airport. It's one of the biggest airports there, as far as I'm aware. And then I have, a flight from there to the actual place where Salem is at. I'm not gonna say where that is, obviously, but oh god, he has notes. Apple, you have no idea. Wait, what? Do I know how to scroll? There we go. Boy, howdy, do I have notes. Anyway, oh my god, we're gonna be here for like 4 years, dude. Anyway, yeah, so I have 2 connecting flights, and it's about an hour and a half layover in between them, which is a pretty okay amount of time to get to the next flight. Like, it's not tremendous, but that's plenty of time, is what I thought. I thought that would be plenty of time. However, never go through what I did, which is to underestimate the security lines at an airport, because they can really fucking vary. Anyway, yeah, so I believe, when did I write when I landed from the first flight? I don't think I did. Oh wait, but I have the receipts. I have a lot of items from this story. Most of them are paper related. Right, yeah, so my first flight was from 10 a.m. to 11:25 a.m. and then the connecting flight was at 1 p.m. So yeah, an hour and 35-minute layover. Anyway, I, like a fucking dumbass, got lost in Vancouver Airport, which at the time I thought it would be okay, but the security line ended up being like an hour long. And I took my time getting lost and going to the bathroom and things, because I didn't think it would be an issue. And if I had really just not done that, if I had just waited to go to the bathroom or just not gotten lost, nothing would have happened. I don't think anything would have happened. But I was in a rush. Anyway, it was taking forever to get through the security line, and I was starting to get worried, because the flight left at 1 p.m., but it started boarding 15 minutes prior. And around like 12:30, 12:35, and boarding begins at 12:45. When I'm just standing in the line, I'm starting to panic a little bit. There's not really much I can do to make the line go quicker, but whatever, it's fine. And once I eventually do get through security, the most awesome thing happens where my bag gets flagged. through the security scanner, and then I have to go through the extra security checking. Sorry, I'm going. This is the reason I wrote notes. Okay. I'm making sure you guys know everything that needs. Oh, right. So, a very important part of this, which you will learn why in a moment, is that I was wearing 2 coats to save space, when packing, because it's fucking Canada. It's cold as shit up there. So I was wearing 2 coats, and one of them, I have it right here. This fucking one. This was the one I was wearing on the inside, then I was wearing a heavier coat above it. But this one, the pockets on it, where are the fucking pockets? There they are. The pockets, it's one big pocket. It's not 2 unique pockets. It's one big interconnected pocket. Now, I am a bit of a fucking dumbass. So I had my passport and my boarding pass out because I needed it for them to confirm that I was, supposed to be there. And then, while I was like, you gotta take all your extra clothing off and shit, and your shoes and belt and shit when you go through security. And I just quickly put my passport and my boarding pass in that pocket. And then I took my coat off and put it in a bin and then let it go through security. And I would like to think that it stayed in there. In fact, I know it did. Now that I think about it. But the point is that it was very loose. Finally, after like fucking 10 minutes of going through the extra security for them to check my fucking bag, I fucking scramble and grab everything. At this point, I think it's 12:50. Yeah, I think it's 12:50. So my flight began boarding 5 minutes ago, and it's leaving in 10 minutes. I forget exactly when the gate closes, but it's soon. It's definitely not that far of a way of a thing. So I'm trying to like run, and it is not. It was kind of just awful trying to run with because I had a carry-on bag and my backpack. Trying to run with a carry-on bag without hitting the wheel constantly is fucking awful. Like you have to take small steps, or otherwise you're gonna hit if you're trying to drag it behind you. It's so awful. Running with one of those things, I kept fucking hitting it with my shoe over and over again, and then we'd go fucking spinning out, and I'd have to not make sure I'm not hitting anyone. Anyway, I ran all the way there to the line. I'm like, oh, fucking finally, I made it. It's like 12:56. I can see the line. There's like a few people. I'm like getting in line. I'm like, okay, let me get my passport ready. That's weird. Where's my passport? I thought it was in my. Where's my passport? So it turns out, I managed to lose the one single most important thing when you're traveling in a foreign country, because I put that in the worst spot ever of a loose pocket. I also lost my boarding pass. That one wasn't as much of a deal because there's a mobile app that kind of had my information on it. The physical boarding pass was more of a precaution in case my connection was terrible, which it kind of was, because I don't know what the standard is for service internet providers in other countries, but at least for me, which I think we have T-Mobile, I don't remember, but you get connection in Canada, you get service, but it's bad. It's very slow. So you can use the internet, but it's not great. I'm gonna give myself a moment to take a breath and rechat. Pillsbury toaster strudels also have those pre-tapered icing packets. Oh, interesting. Also, I see miss. Okay, 15 minutes between starting the board and leaving is crazy small. I don't remember. Actually, I think the flight. I might have wrong information about that. I know it's 15 minutes of boarding time, and then the gates close for a certain amount of time, and then the flight happens. So I'm wondering if maybe boarding is at 12:30 until 12:45 when the gates close, and then if the flight leaves at 1 p.m., that might be more what it is. If only I had a fucking, if only I had the information about this on me, I say, while having the information. This is not the actual information I need, though, is the thing. I'm trying to do this so you guys can't see everything yet. That's a spoiler. It's 25 minutes, I think, actually. Yeah, it's 25 minutes. Okay, so I got that wrong, actually. It's 25 minutes before the departing time is when boarding time, and I think 10 minutes before is when the gate closes. That sounds more accurate to me, actually. The exact timeline of events doesn't matter too much. Listening to this while actively at the airport waiting for my flight home is so fun. Oh god, hi Kay. I'm refreshing my Southwest, yeah. Unfair events will not end with me being stuck in LA, thank you. Yeah, have fun. Or, I mean, I hope you had fun if you're on the way back. Make sure you always know where your shit is and check constantly. I am so paranoid now about losing shit because of this. Anyway, let's get back to the story. Where were we? Let me consult my notes. Oh, see, okay, this is why I have my notes, is that it's more thorough. Yeah, got through, rushed to my gate, super far away, accidentally kicking my carry-on multiple times. I make it there like 3 minutes after they begin boarding. Which is, not great, but I'm there. Yeah, so in that moment where I realized I don't have my passport, intense fear immediately, as you might expect. It's just immediate panic from just absolutely everything. But I realized, like, it probably fell out of my coat pocket. Like, I realized even when I first put my passport in that pocket, like, this is probably not a good idea. But I was pretty sure that I had it. Like, after going through security and I put it back on and stuff, I was like, I checked and I'm like, oh, I have it. Anyway, so I realized I have to run all the way back to security, probably, because it fell out at some point during my run. It was probably one of the times I fucking kicked my bag and nearly fell over. It was probably one of those times. So really quickly, I run over past the line because I'm in a rush, and I just tell the boarding assistant, just like, I'll be like 5 minutes. I lost my passport, but I know you can't wait. But just give me like 5 minutes. And I just fucking bolt as much as I can because I was still. Oh, actually, no. I misremembered the story. See, this is the thing. This is why I have notes. Is because so many things happened that even now, trying to think of it, there's things that I just don't even remember because I just blocked it out of my memory because it was just a in-the-moment decision. Because my notes are actually wrong, which is the funny thing. Because I have it in here that I told the assistant that I need to go run back to security. That's not what I did first. At first, I'm trying to remember. That's right. Oh my god. Okay, I remember now. Jesus Christ, dude. I think I literally blocked this out of my memory. When I first got there, I didn't actually go immediately into line. I walked slightly over to go sit down for a second because I had just ran all the way over. And then I got up and stood in line, and then that's when I realized I lost my passport. So first I walked back over to that little spot that I sat over and just fucking scanned the ground like I'm a fucking hawk looking for prey. Couldn't find it. And then I didn't want to run with my fucking bag again, so I asked someone in line to just hey, can you watch my fucking carry-on for a moment? which, granted, probably wasn't the best idea. They could have done things, but they were in line as well. And she looked like a nice lady. It was fine. And I was panicking, and I knew I wouldn't make it if I had to run with that stupid carry-on. So then I sprint all the way across the fucking airport again. I wish I had a map of Vancouver Airport to show you, but it was far. Like, the security gate that I went through was absolutely the worst one that I could have gone through, because it is quite literally the farthest from the gate that I was at. You had to go through, like, 4 different fucking gate areas. Just, like, gate areas. Like, areas full of other gates to get to where mine was. I don't know why I chose that security line. That was a really dumb idea, because there are other security lines. And maybe the lines on those ones weren't as long as the one I went through. Well, benefit of hindsight, I suppose. If we didn't have photographic evidence of you making it to Canada, I would be convinced you never made it. You know what? That's fair. Sorry, I'm very jittery and I've made no I knew this would happen where I'm just not able to make any progress on this while I'm talking. I'm gonna take a moment in the story. Oh, there's a little... I just realized that... Oh, you guys can't see it because completely... How do I... There we go. There's a little place to line the frosting up and make the house on. Nice. Okay. I'm actually gonna keep needing this a little bit, but yeah. So I run all the way back to security, and I very quickly tell the same people, the same security officers that just checked my bag. And I'm like, hey, I was just here 5 minutes ago. I think my passport slipped out in from my pocket in one of the tubs. Like, do you have a passport that you just saw, or whatever? And at first they don't even recognize me, which is funny, which makes sense. Like, they see tons of people every day. Of course they're not going to remember me, even though they did see me 5 minutes ago. But I just kind of stand there while they just talk and look around a little bit. And then after 3 minutes, I'm just standing there just fucking panic mode because I need to fucking go. I need my goddamn passport. And I'm standing there and I'm realizing they're not looking for it anymore. They just stopped. I think, well, I mean, obviously they have a line to run. They have a line to run, which makes sense. But, I was just standing there at the end, just, waiting, and, I could tell that no one was looking for it at that point, after, a minute or so. At this point, they're just clueless, and at this point, I'm starting to accept the fact that this is not happening. Even if I find the passport and make it back in time, it's just not happening. But luckily, I think, hold on, this is why I have notes. Luckily, one of the security officers, she actually helps me. She's kind of in the main area instead of behind the security roller bag things. I don't even know what you call that. I'm getting out of breath already. I need to calm myself down here. Anyway, she tries to actually help me and get another higher up person nearby, and then she just walks off into a random direction, and I'm waiting on her, and everyone else is going back to doing their jobs, and I'm just standing here. I'm like, oh cool, no one knows that I'm here, and my flight's probably gone at this point. Sorry, notes. Oh my god. I'm reliving this. I feel like telling it I'm remembering the feelings I was having at this time. I just realized I have my notes on my main. Wait, hold on. I'm so dumb. I don't need my notes on my phone. I have monitors on my computer. Oh, the sun. Ah, okay. Yeah, this is much better. I need to turn off. Why are you like this? Anyway, they can't fucking find it. They can't find the passport. And at this point, I've been standing there for 10 minutes. And I go for a Hail Mary attempt because it's technically not too late yet. And I just like, I start going back to my gate, and I'm just fucking zoned in on the ground. Like everywhere I went, just looking for wherever it could be. Obviously, it's a busy ass airport. I'm probably not gonna find it, but like I need to go back and get my bag anyway, or bag, just bag. I still have my backpack on me. I think. I'm starting to think that maybe I only asked that lady to wash my stuff. I don't know, man. the small details here just fade. I think they're gone at this point. If I ever even have them to begin with. Anyway. Yeah, so I scanned the whole ground while on my way back to the gate. Didn't find it. I make it there. I got my bag's there. But my flight is gone. My flight took off already. So at this point, it's terrible, but I'm just like, nope, I don't need to think about that. My only goal is find passport. I'm not gonna deal with whatever I have to do. Just reschedule a flight, figure out what's happening. I'm just not gonna worry about that for now. My only goal is to find passport. Details going like the past. Look, I'm getting secondhand anxiety over something that happened to someone else over a month ago. Yeah, no, I'm actually like reliving this a little bit. I need to drink some water. Trauma story. Yeah, this is me trauma dumping to you guys. Would you believe me if this is literally only the, like, beginning? Actually, you probably would, because there's a reason I waited so long to tell this. Anyway, yeah, so I'm just trying to find a passport. I can't think about the fucking missing a flight thing right now, so I walk all the way back to security. The security checkpoint, again, for the second time. I mean, it's my third time being there. But I'm scanning the ground again on my way back. And I didn't notice this on my sweep back to go back to the gate from the security. But I do notice something on the ground. And I go over and pick it up. And what do I find? This. My boarding pass paper. Just my boarding pass paper. And no passport. So now I know that my stuff I know my passport is gone, and now I know someone has it, because they were both in the same pocket. They were both in the same pocket, so they had to have fallen out at the same time. So that's cool. So now someone out there has my identity and passport, so that's a whole other issue. Yeah, so this has gone from bad to worse now. Bro, I think I should have a fucking BPM on screen right now. I'm actually reliving this more than I thought I would. But yeah, so now this has gone from bad to worse, from a lost passport to a stolen one. Honestly, I mean, there's a chance that a nice person found it, but anyway, thinking about that's not going to help me either. So I go to basically, I go to the higher security person that one security lady went to go talk to when I first went there and asked about it. But I talked to them directly because I was told that that's kind of what that was the person I needed to talk to. So I re-explained the whole situation again of what I knew, which is that I had my passport in line right before security, and then like at some point at security or between there and getting to my gate, my passport was gone. And I also mentioned how I found my fucking boarding pass paper on the ground. I don't know what the security role of this guy is, by the way, but whatever role he is, he's cool enough to have two phones. Like, he's constantly on two different phones, like calling people, and like he's doing shit on two different phones. I have no idea what role that is, but I mean, it looked cool. Anyway, I give him all the information, and then I give him my crumpled up boarding pass. This is actually not nearly as... Wait, this is not actually the boarding pass, I just realized. What did I do with the boarding pass? I might have got rid of it, actually. Or is it? No, this is it. It's just been uncrumpled. Yeah, I crumpled the shit out of it once I realized that I was just fucked. Anyway, he calls another person on one of his one of his many phones, the phone lord, yeah, he's basically checking for me if my passport was in the pocket of my hoodie while it went through security, because I mean, I think I double checked after I went through security that I had it in my pocket quickly, but I actually, even now, I still don't know if I actually did or not. I mean, I think I did. I definitely did have my passport because it fell on the ground after. But I didn't know at the time, so I was like, let me make sure where it fell, where I lost it or whatever. Anyway, he's on the fucking phone for ages. And he gets off the phone and he tells me that they're reviewing it. And that I just kind of, like, they'll get back to him once because they're looking through, like, the x-rays, basically, of, like, the scanned bags and stuff, so it takes them a little bit to, like, look through that. So then I'm just kind of sitting here on a bench, just past the security checkpoint, waiting indefinitely. And then, of course, that's the first moment of, like, doing nothing. So then it's like, oh god, okay, so this is the worst thing ever. Yeah, it actually sank in that I 100% missed my flight, and at the very least lost a bunch of money. I didn't even know if there was another flight I could take soon, and on top of that, my passport was missing and likely stolen. So there's no point in rebooking a flight right now anyway, because I don't know if I'll even be able to go on that flight either, because I still won't have a passport. Yeah. Wow. Sorry, this is a lot more scatterbrained than I thought. I have notes and it still sounds scatterbrained. Are you the real Evan or an imposter? Maybe. Let me make a little bit of progress on this here, because I've done nothing but fucking mess with this frosting. I'm actually reliving this a lot more than I thought I would. Evan scatterbrained? I never. Also, I might close my blinds because, you know, can't really see that. In retrospect, trying to build a gingerbread house at the same time as telling this story, probably just a recipe for disaster. But I don't care. I'm here. Alright, what did the instructions say? Okay. Okay, yeah, I mean, it's standard gingerbread housing. Oh, weird. Oh, there's a chimney on this one. Wait. Or is there? Is that supposed to be it? Oh, yeah, there is. There's a chimney. It's just this little, like, thingy. It's basically nothing. But it's something. Basically nothing is something, if you think about it. I don't think I cut this hole big enough. I'm gonna be so for real. I definitely did not cut it big enough. Sorry, I'm taking a moment to recuperate. The chill Slime Rancher music's not really doing me any justice. Okay, well, that was probably too big of an opening now. But it's ruined forever, and there's no second chances, so... Actually, no, that's, like, perfect. So I gotta lick the frosting off. It's a mandatory requirement. Okay. Now we do this. Oh, except that no, we don't. All right, we're staying on the gingerbread break for a moment. It'll be easier to do this when it's just the decorating phase, or when I'm just holding it in place. It'll be a lot easier. I think after doing these so many times, I'd get a little better at them, but no, not really. Actually, this tray thing means that I don't have to hold it in place, I just realized. I forgot. That's actually pretty nice. Alright, let me just speedrun doing this then, real quick. And then I can get back to the story while it dries. Or I can drop it, that works too. Oh wait, right, you guys need the alternate camera angle. What am I doing? Alternate camera angle, go! Oh, now it's so dark. Now it's too dark. There we go. Alternate camera angle, go. Why are you stop? Why are you rotating so much? Okay, whatever. I'm a professional streamer, guys, trust. Ta-da. There we go. Don't mind the glare, it's fine. But my face is actually red, I am reliving this. Oh my god. Or it might be a remnant of a sunburn. I'm actually not sure. Okay. Before we gotta let this dry a little bit before we do the roof. So let's get back to it for a moment. Okay, where were we? We were oh yeah, the phone. So I'm sitting there and panic, major panic. Oh, Stream just disabled the ability to purchase the game made by the white. What the fuck? What a first time chat. Okay, yeah, so I'm sitting there, and I'm going through it, TM. So I sent an incredibly depressed message to Salem to not even bother start because at this point Salem's about to start driving to the airport because it's a pretty far drive. I mean the flight is only like an hour and a half, but I said like don't bother coming, don't bother. And because I hadn't even said like I hadn't even said like I'd gotten the flight or anything, so it was probably a bit concerning. Yeah, so what am I going to say? Oh yeah, don't bother going to the airport in half an hour or so, and then I missed my flight. At this point it's like 1:15, I think. So I think it's about or no, I guess it'd be 2:15. Right? Yeah, I think I have that wrong in my notes. It was about an hour over since my flight left. And like until the security line panic, I was keeping my family and Salem up to date on what the hell was going on. And then I just went silent for an hour, so that was probably concerning. But there's like so many hairs on my microphone. Dude, I think this is actually Salem's hair. This is red. I think there was a Salem hair on my microphone. This was in the middle. Yeah, in the middle of the first and second flight. Yeah, so I'm in the middle of Vancouver Airport. I'm in Canada without a passport. I'm technically an illegal alien at this point. Think about it. Anyway, I later learned, by the way, I forgot to mention this, but I later learned that I was a fucking dumbass for an entirely different reason. I didn't even have to go through the security line again. Because I was connecting from an international flight, I didn't even need to go through security again. So I could have avoided that super long line, and I would have had so much time to get to my flight. But yeah, that's one of the many ways I could have avoided everything. I am still really mad at myself for putting my literally the most valuable item that I had in a loose pocket. I managed to lose the one thing that I needed to have. I could have lost anything else and it would have been fine, but I lost the one thing I absolutely needed to have. Anyway, moving on. This is still Act 1, by the way. We're still in like the this is not the main part of the story. We haven't even gotten there yet. I mean, I guess it is. It's an important part, but we're like maybe 15% through this at this point. Anyway, I need to catch my breath again. Yeah, so I'm definitely starting to lose it at this point, just sitting there waiting. I'm trying to take deep breaths and not fucking explode. I'm normally pretty good at keeping calm in the moment and then like, freaking out when the time is right. And like, I was definitely struggling at that point because I didn't even know what, like, I have, the actual nightmare scenario. Like, it is actually just a fucking thing you have in a nightmare like when you're sleeping. In case you didn't know what a nightmare was. Ow! What the fuck did I just do? I need my water in an easier to access location. Jesus. Anyway, the guy finally gets a call back. After 800 years. And the most disappointing answer that I could have received is the one that's given to me. He talks on the phone for a moment, hangs up, and he tells me that they couldn't confirm that the passport went through security or not. Like they couldn't see on the X-ray. But they don't know. So basically it was the, I don't know, maybe it was there, maybe it wasn't. So I waited all that time for an I don't know. Not my problem. So that was cool. But, you know, I'm trying to just let the problem solver brain take over at this point and just be like, alright, well, what's my next actionable step to do? Because, like, I can't just sit here idly. Like, there's gotta be something I can do as a next step. Somebody with 3 phones? You know what? You're right. That must have been it. That's who he's maybe who he was talking to had 2 phones as well. So my next thought is, hey, there's a chance that I dropped it before security. So I might as well fucking check at this, like, why, I have no idea what else to do at this point. So I retraced my steps again, except more this time. I like leave security, so like I can't go back to the area that I've been in through the gates and all that without going through security again. Except, spoiler alert, I can't go through security because I don't have a valid flight to go to. Yeah, no, it probably was a mistake. Realistically, but I mean, I don't think so. With how everything turned out, I don't think there was anything else I could have done. Anyway, so I retraced my steps, but behind security. Like, I walk all the way back to the international arrivals spot from where my first flight landed in Vancouver Airport. And I find nothing, of course. Like, it makes sense. There's so many people that walk through that area, you know? And, like, at the time, that was the last known location that I knew of my passport. I knew I had my passport. Like, the last time I was 100% confident that I had my passport was when I landed. When I went through, because you have to, you know, be a fucking person to go into Canada. Like, you know, you need your passport to be in a different country. Kind of just how security lines work. Not security lines, but just border patrol, I guess. I don't even know if you count it as border patrol. Yeah, please have a safe flight home. Okay. Clutch those damn documents. Frost and break. Anyway, I sit down because at this point I'm fucking tired of hauling my heavy ass backpack and carry-on bag everywhere, and I'd sit for a few minutes. I like, the next thing I can think of is like, I should go to the Lost and Found, because I think I'm pretty confident at this point that someone found my passport, because I found my boarding pass paper just on the ground, and it was in the same pocket. So someone probably has my passport, and my hope is that someone brought it to the Lost and Found. And I look up on my phone with my slow, shitty ass fucking service. Well, I think I started using the free Wi-Fi at the airport because it was just so bad. But yeah, at this point I'm on full copium, hoping that someone brought it to Lost and Found. So I look up where it is, and oh, actually, no, sorry. I got that wrong. This is why I have my notes. I didn't look it up. I talked to multiple help desks, because they have little information desks, like, just everywhere throughout the airport. Because I also wanted to know just what else I should fucking do, because there's a large part of me that realizes that there's no way it's gonna be a Lost and Found, and I have no idea what to do next. So I'm kind of just talking to help desk, also just explaining my situation, like, what the fuck do I even do at this point? I feel like I've tried everything. I tried the security, I can't find it. And then I asked them where Lost and Found is, and they do give me an idea to try, but I try it. I'm gonna try it later. I'm gonna go to Lost and Found first, and it turns out Lost and Found is at the complete opposite end of the airport, like the farthest possible location away. Which is awesome. Really, really cool. So then I have to haul my stuff all the way over there again. Well, not again, I guess, but just At this point, I've literally just been running around the airport for like 2 straight hours. So I was getting a little tired. But I eventually get to the Lost and Found. I asked them if they've seen any passports and like, you know, for Evan or you know, whatever, and of course they don't have it. Unsurprisingly, I knew they wouldn't have it. Like, I don't even know, because of how far the Lost and Found even was, if someone even did fucking pick up the passport, it would have taken them forever just to get there, just to fucking turn it in, because it was so far from where I lost it. Anyway, at this point, I'm dead inside. I'm just defeated, and I don't even know what to do at this point. But my parents and Salem have all, like, they've been kind of just, I've been leaving them on basically no information. And they've been very concerned about what the hell is happening. So I'm like, all right, I guess I'll just update them or whatever. So we try to have a phone call. So what I do is I go out into like the land, like the ground transportation, and like walk far into the parking lot because it is so loud everywhere. There's just no place around Vancouver Airport to find any peace and quiet anywhere. So I had to walk all the way to the end of the fucking parking lot just to find a spot that was quiet. And then I realized, oh, this was a terrible idea because I'm trying to have a video call. Well, at first a video call, and then just a phone call through Discord. And my connection, my service is so bad, I can't even have a phone call, bro. I couldn't even have a fucking phone call. My service was so bad. And I just have instead of using Discord, I just have a direct phone call with my mom, and then my dad's just nearby. And then, like, we'll just update Salem when we're done, I guess. That was the quick solution. 100% Vancouver Airport speedrun? Yeah, true. Horror story time. I'm like out of breath, and I feel anxious fucking retelling this story. I the whole time. Yeah, let's take a little break for a moment. Actually, I'm updating. We'll leave off with me. I'm having a phone call with my parents, updating them on what's happened, on what I've done, on what to do next, all that. That's where we'll leave it for a moment here. Let's attach the roof. The roof is on fire. What's that from? I don't even remember. I realize now I'm a dumbass. Which, I mean, obviously. I don't think I can even do this. I was supposed to break off this chimney. Oh, never mind. That was really easy. Okay, well, I guess I'm just being a drama queen. I think I snapped off a bit more than I meant to. Whatever. Yeah, you know what? I'm just gonna live in the silence for a moment. I'm not gonna feel the need to just yap. I'm just gonna exist for a moment. I actually know which way this is supposed to go. Pretty sure it's like this. I guess you can kind of do whatever you want. Maybe I should carve my own path. Which side's the front? Oh, probably the side with the path, actually. Oh, there's just a gap I can see from the camera. Oh. Uh-oh. This is what I get for not holding the chimney or roof. I'm so dumb. This is not staying now. I've made a mistake. Yeah, it slid enough to the point. I gotta recoup. I gotta recuperate. I also decided to start with the harder one. Just, you know, an idea. Okay. I'm just gonna hold this for a while I continue with the story. Yeah, that little gap is slightly concerning. Oh, it's because the wall's tipping. Oh, because the wall's just not connected at all on that side. I see. Well... I don't know why. I thought I frosted it pretty good. Oh, it's because it's not long enough. What? It's literally just not long enough to fit in the tray. On both sides. Oh god. You know what? Just let it be. We can have a gap. At most angles, you won't even see it. Just let it be. Yeah, that's fine. What good wall doesn't just, like, extend into, like, just invert inward towards the house? There's a chance I should have let the walls dry a little longer before adding the roof. Anyway, what was I gonna say? Oh yeah, so I was updating. Jesus Christ, I've already been live for an hour. We're getting ads in 3 minutes. All right, well, let's get a little further in the story, and then I'll wait for the ads to continue. But I have a phone call with them, update them on everything. They try and do stuff from their end. My parents they're very helpful. My parents and some were all very helpful during this. You'll see more so later. It's for the airflow, trust. Yeah. But I eventually got off the call with them, and then I walking back to the entrance of the ground transportation area because my connection is so bad otherwise. I have to use their Wi-Fi. And I do the idea that was given to me from one of the help desks I talked to, which is to call the fucking police and submit a police report filing for a lost/stolen item. So I go through that whole process. Although I'm like, it's like part 1 of the process because they need to call me back later after, like, I don't even remember all the details with the police report shit because in the end it doesn't end up mattering, but I do remember it being a whole thing that I had to do. So this is where my notes get a little spacey and probably not the actual, like some things might be a bit out of order because of this. I remember all of these things happening. I just don't fucking remember the order of events because this all happened within like a few hours of each other. But I go into the I'll just say this, though. My flight, like the airline that I've been using for all this is Air Canada, because it's pretty much the only option. But I go into the Air Canada support line to attempt to reschedule my missed flight to at least like I don't know. It's something I can do. Like, I feel at this point I feel like I have to wait for my passport to just be found. Like, there's just nothing I can do myself for my passport. So then I try and go through that and try and get my flight rescheduled. Except that I can't, because in order to do so, I need a valid form of ID, like my passport. And so without that, I can't reschedule the flight, which makes sense because you need the ID to get on the flight. So why would they let me schedule a flight without the ID on me then, if I also need it when I board? Which makes sense. And the most annoying part about all of this is that it would have been fine if I had gone through the process of getting my enhanced driver's license, which, if you don't know, there's driver's license and enhanced driver's license, it's a whole thing. But I never went through the process of getting my enhanced driver's license because I got a passport. And in my head, I'm like, oh, I don't need to get an enhanced driver's license because my passport covers all the things that I would need this for. But if I did, then I would have had a backup. But my passport was my only form of valid ID in Canada. My normal driver's license is not like a valid Canadian ID or anything. So, yeah, that's cool. I'm gonna keep this here. The ads are here, so I'll continue the rest of it in a moment. Driver's license being in your wallet is way harder to lose than a separate passport. True. Yeah, well, I'm hella paranoid about it now, Apple. I'm normally very good at keeping track of my things and stuff, so it's never been an issue for me in the past. The roof keeps like slightly sliding from wherever I actually had it. I had a different kind of travel health story around 2 years ago, where what should have been an 8-hour trip took 25. Oof. That's terrible. Alright, the roof's gonna be a little janky, but you know what? That's fine. I'm trying to. I'm pre-reading my notes here to prepare for when the ads are done. Non-stop flight from Cali to Newark, New Jersey. There was a bad weather. My flight got delayed 5 hours, then diverted to Chicago at 1 a.m. and then they canceled the rest. Oh, my God, that's terrible. So then just Chicago moment. That one was at least due to weather. Now I'm in Chicago at 2 a.m. Oh my God. Oh, right, and you're going to a wedding. I forgot about that. Yeah, there being like no alternative flights is terrible. Oh, I guess that is a part of the story I kind of forgot to mention was I wasn't aware. Actually, ads are almost done. Wait like 10 seconds. Okay, welcome back from ads. Yeah, so I actually did. That was, I think that was one of the things that my family helped with, or I don't remember. Maybe I looked it up myself, but like other flights from Vancouver to Salem's area, and I was a little concerned because getting the flight that I got in the first place was kind of lucky because they don't do a ton. But there was no other flights that day. The next closest was there were two the next day. One that was basically the exact same time next day at like 1 p.m. And next day at I think 8 or 9 p.m. But yeah, so I was trying to reschedule my flight and I can't, so that's cool. That doesn't end up working out. I do eventually later go back into the line a second time. This is what I'm talking about, by the way, by like kind of not remembering the order of events a little bit, because I might have gone into the Air Canada line to reschedule my flight the first time before I ever called with my parents in Salem. I actually don't even fucking remember. Oh, I did cut my finger. Huh. Interesting. I don't know, but I do remember going into the Air Canada support line 2 separate times. And the second time, it was a different person that I spoke to, and I think I actually did get my flight rescheduled. For free as well, which that was my biggest concern, honestly, was the amount of fucking money this was going to cost. Because the flight itself was already like $500 there and back, and then fucking like missing my flight. I don't think I had any like safety net of like missing the flight. I think it was just a miss the flight, you miss the flight kind of shit. So I think I just got lucky. I don't know. Maybe they were nice because I lost my passport. I don't know. But I was able to reschedule my flight the second time I went through to the 1 p.m. one. Although I think on the app of like Air Canada's like phone app, you could reschedule a flight up to 2 hours before, like 2 hours and more before your flight. You could cancel your flight and like rebook it. So I thought, worst case scenario, if I still don't have my passport tomorrow by like 10 11 p.m. or a.m., then I could just cancel it, whatever. Anyway, yeah, so I'm like talking to more help desks and shit. Like I actually this is definitely the part that I have the least memories of, because it was just a fucking blur. But I'm like sitting down. I went to like a food court area, I think, because I don't even remember why I was all over the fucking Vancouver airport. I have bad memories with Vancouver airport at this point. If I'm ever back there again, I'm having a fucking traumatic response. But the police called me back for something about the police file report. I don't remember exactly what we talked about on there, but it didn't matter in the end at all. So whatever. It was a phone call with a policeman. I don't remember what exactly it was. And I'm having like another phone call with my mom, like kind of update on what's going on. I also submit a lost item report to the Lost and Found, like the Vancouver Lost and Found, through the Vancouver Airport app. Like actually submit a passport lost thing in case they ever do get it. Then I can actually be notified about it. But yeah, after talking back and forth and doing all this for so long, in the end, my parents decided and I decided it's probably best, like, no matter what happens, the next connecting flight is sometime tomorrow. So I'm going to be here for today at the very least. It's probably a good idea to like get a hotel for a night and just like chill for a little bit, because I'm gonna need a place to rest and not just chill in the airport for all eternity. So yeah, and there was like we were tossing up potential. I mean, when something like this happens, you think of all of the scenario, like things that you have to do. I'm really glad that we didn't have to do some of the things we were suggesting, because like my dad was gonna like drive 14 or like fucking 6 hours up to Vancouver Airport to try and pick me up and then leave, and because I couldn't get there was no way I would be able to get another flight back without a passport. It was terrible, and I'm glad we didn't have to go through that. But anyway, yeah. So luckily my parents booked a hotel nearby, like a hotel for me, which was very nice. And they even offer shuttles to the airport for free that bring you to the hotel. So I'm like, all right, you know what? Fuck it, whatever. I don't have any more brain capacity today. Let's just do that. So I dragged myself all the way back to the ground transportation area for the fourth time, I think. I don't know. But I call the hotel for a shuttle, and I'm on hold for at least 10 minutes, which is fucking crazy. And I called them 3 different times. Like, I didn't just stay on hold the whole time, because I got impatient. And finally, someone miraculously picks up the phone and says they'll send a shuttle. And then I wait for another 30 minutes outside at the fucking bus stop, just chilling there, doing nothing except getting cold. I probably should have just stayed inside, to be honest, for a while, but I didn't know it would take 30 minutes. They said it would take fucking 15. Whatever. Yeah. Let me catch up on Apple's story here. No flight. After looking at every single airline app I have installed, I eventually found a flight from Chicago to DC, but it was the other Chicago airport to the one I was in, and I was able to get an Amtrak up from DC to Newark. That was awful. That sounds terrible. Cost me like $700. Jesus Christ. That's awful. That's arguably worse than my whole story, because I didn't lose $700 from this. I did lose a lot of money, just not that much. Okay. Yeah, so I'm waiting for the shuttle forever. Finally get there, bring me to the hotel. What's there? What's next? I get there at like 5:45 p.m. by the way. So yeah, at this point I think I had been running around in a panic trying to find my passport or do all of this shit for 6 straight hours. This was just becoming my life at this point. It was my full-time job. It was just running around the airport looking for my passport. But I finally arrived at 5:45 p.m. and they can't let me in. They can't confirm the book of the hotel because it's under my mom's credit card and her name. At this point, I have 0 patience left, and I'm ready to just collapse on the floor and just, you know, let them figure it out. I'll sit here. I'll lay on the floor and die. But luckily I'm able to call my mom and just kind of hand my phone over to the receptionist and just let him discuss it and whatever. And then she's able to confirm the booking or whatever. I get my key, whatever. I go to the elevator. They have like a fucking crazy. I've never seen this where an elevator was tied to having a hotel key card. You had to like put your key card into the elevator to even use the elevator, or it was just a fucking room. Like you couldn't use the buttons at all. And I was very confused and I didn't know how the hell it worked because I had 0 brain cells left. But I eventually figured it out. Go up to my room. I'm in the room, and I get there and I fucking die. I literally just like actually just collapse onto the bed and just sit there for like probably like 15 minutes just doing nothing. I literally was just laying there like face down in the fucking bed for like 15 minutes. But I'm like, oh yeah, I should probably call my parents in Salem and like catch up or whatever. So I'm calling with them, like, going over like so much shit, and also I'm like going to fucking town on Reese's peanut butter cups and trail mix because I hadn't eaten. At this point, it had been, I believe, 9 or 10 hours since I had breakfast, and I was very, very hungry. I basically ate like all of the snacks that I had on me. That wasn't, or at least none of the snacks that I was gonna bring for Salem. Anyway, I have that whole call because I actually have Wi-Fi, so I'm able to do a video chat, and actually call Salem and my parents at the same time, which was nice, and I have to communicate back and forth. But yeah, we're basically discussing what the hell to even do next. And my mom, absolute champion, wrote like a full emails of like full instructions on what I could do and different options and stuff. I might be able to pull it up, but actually I probably will have to because there's so many fucking details that I don't even remember. Also, let me get the next piece of roof. Almost did it upside down. Right. Okay. Okay. Sorry. I'm like still I didn't realize that telling the story would actually like mentally drain me this much as it, well, not nearly as much as it actually did the day off, but a decent bit. All right, let me see if I can find it now. Oh yeah, okay. So here's another thing that another part of this that I forgot to mention. My mom was trying to contact a embassy while I was running around the airport, or just like trying to contact, like figuring out like, could you like get a replacement pass? That was another thing. Like when I was asking like people in the airport, like, how do I get a replacement passport? Because at that point I was kind of giving up on ever trying to actually find my passport, because it seemed to have just gone like the wind at that point. God, I got my icing bag all dirty. Ironically, with icing. Yeah, so like the fucking number to call, like, there was no human. You could send an email and like, I don't know, there's, I don't know, I can't remember, man. There's so many like, I'm gonna forget parts of this because it was just fucking chaos. Anyway, the actual email that my mom sent for like instructions, yeah, it's 6:50 p.m. Which is probably that was not very long after our phone call ended, and I was just chilling in the hotel. So the basic plan, basic. Let me. Yeah, you know, I'll go over the plan now. Why not? Let's go over the plan now. So the plan was to get up really early the next day. Oh, I was also low on sleep. I forgot to mention this. I had like procrastinated, not just packing, but doing all the things I needed to do before I left. And I had to get up at like 7 in the morning or something. I was running on like 4 or 5 hours of sleep to begin with. So I was already tired before any of this. But yeah, the plan was to get up early the next day. You know, check my email to see if I, you know, lost and found it, or if like the police let me know if they found it or whatever. You know, that was the ideal thing, would be if they found it, but of course they didn't. But yeah, in the morning, the plan was to go to a U.S. Consultant General office. I mean, it's also just known as a U.S. Embassy, but the closest one was in Waterfront. And that is not Vancouver Airport. So the way to get there that we decided to use is the SkyTrain system that they have, because there's a whole like train that you can use that Canada has to like go between Vancouver and like all those places around there. It's literally like the farthest fucking location on that train, but yeah, so it opens at the embassy opens at 8 a.m. So, and like basically try and get there as soon as you fucking can, which is why I'm getting up early. Also because like they open at 8 a.m., right? And at this point I still have my flight that might be at 1 p.m. So, and with how long shit like this takes, yeah, getting there as it opens, probably a good idea. Anyway, yeah, so I have to take my the hotel shuttle from the hotel back to the airport, and then from the airport I need to get on the SkyTrain thing called like the Canada line. And then I have to ride all the way down to Waterfront, go to the consultant building, which is about like 30 minutes away using the train and stuff. There's like trains that come in every like 6 minutes, but yeah, the plan was to be at the airport, like station thing, like by 7:15 a.m. at the latest, so I could, you know, have the 30 minutes to get there and then be there at 8 a.m. when it opened. But what's the next thing? Yeah, it's like a 10-minute walk from there to the consultant building after I get at Waterfront. I remember, like, my mom sent a very, very detailed email, which was very helpful. Yeah, ideally you're supposed to be at the airport 2 hours before your flight. So, the goal is to be back at 11 a.m. That was never gonna happen, but, I mean, realistically, like, I was gonna have to move my flight to the 8 p.m. one that day. This also just sucked in general because, like, you know, absolute best case, I'm still missing out on time spending, like getting to spend time with Salem in Canada, and this nice vacation has turned into this panic thing. And like Salem is like stressed to all fucking hell. Like Salem actually did start driving to the airport, not Salem themselves, but like getting like they actually started going to the airport the previous day because of how silent I had been, and I guess I hadn't been clear enough that I missed my flight. But yeah, Sam is just an anxious mess basically. And yeah, this whole thing is just bad. It's terrible. Yeah, so that's the plan. But at this point, it's 7 p.m. I just am so fucking tired. I just pass out in the hotel, and then I wake up at 11 p.m. Yeah, that like I pass out for like 5 hours until 11. I try to go back to sleep for like an hour until midnight, and I just cannot fall back to sleep. So I'm like, well, guess my sleep schedule is officially fucked. So now I'm just like, all right, well, I guess I'll just be awake until I leave at like 6 a.m. or whatever. So I take the time to just actually chill for a little bit. I see what's on their TV, and there's like absolutely nothing that I want to watch except I find Curious George. So then I watch some Curious George, and I'm also watching Mice Run Fast on my phone because he's streaming at 1 a.m. as he does. So I'm giving him live Curious George updates on what's going on. I also mentioned a little bit about losing my passport and how I'm stuck in Vancouver, but obviously not going to go into detail in a fucking random Twitch chat. But I also learned I brought my dad's extra Chromecast, which is basically like a screen mirroring thing. If you don't know, like you can just like cast for like using the Wi-Fi. You can plug it into your TV and then like from your phone cast it to the device and just like have your phone on the TV screen basically. And I've tried using it in airport or in a hotel room before, but there's some setting on like Wi-Fi systems that you have to disable or change or whatever for them to work, and hotels almost always never do it. However, I figured out how to cheat the system, and I brought my extra phone that I'm using as a camera right now. I'm revealing the government secrets right now. I brought my extra phone, and I was able to make a hotspot on that phone and then connect my phone and the device to the hotspot, which is using the guest Wi-Fi. And then I was able to use it. So then I just started watching YouTube videos on the TV. So that was fun. It was a fun little diversion from the stress. God. Anyway, yeah. So then I take a shower because I had showered the previous morning, but I was running around. I had gotten so sweaty because I was another thing to remember when all that running around and shit. I was wearing 2 coats the whole time. I was so fucking sweaty. But yeah. Oh yeah. Another thing about the plan that I forgot to mention. My dad had the idea later to drop my bags off in like a baggage handling place at the airport before going to Waterfront to go to a U.S. embassy. So that way I just didn't have to drag my bags around the whole time. Which I would later learn was a very good idea, and it would have been a big problem if I did not do this. But yeah, so I had to find a like at the airport after taking the shuttle from the hotel to the airport again, find a bag holding service and have them hold my backpack and carry-on bag, and obviously have all my documents that I need, my few remaining ones. But anything else? There's another email my mom sent for that. Anyway, yeah, so that was a new part of the plan. Anyway, so I take a shower, and then I set an alarm because I feel myself drifting a little bit, just to like, I think for 6 a.m. So I let myself take a little bit of a nap again. So I get a little bit more sleep, which is nice. I need you to stay, Roof. Yeah, I'm just gonna be holding this roof for the rest of time, I think. The moon outline of your necklace is a fucking loading bar. Oh, that's funny. It kind of is, yeah. That's funny. Anyway, yeah. So I wake up 6 a.m. or whatever, and I call the hotel thing for like preparing a shuttle or whatever, and even though they're supposed to have shuttles every 30 minutes, they said the next available one is 7:40. So already we're off to a bad start on trying to get there as it opens at 8 a.m. What's funny is the stream buffered as soon as you lined it up. Oh my god, that's awesome. Also, high phrase. Yeah, so already we're off to a bad start. Another bad thing, the hotel doesn't even have complimentary breakfast. You have to pay for the breakfast at this hotel. So I don't get to have food either. But now that I have this extra time, I'm like, well, fuck it. There's a McDonald's that I can walk to that's a few minutes away. I guess I'll just I literally never eat at McDonald's ever, but I fucking get all my shit and, well, actually, do I? No, I don't bring all my stuff. Yeah, no, I'm just running down there with my wallet and stuff. And I get a hash brown and a blueberry muffin from McDonald's, and I run all the way back and grab my shit and check out and, you know, hop on the shuttle. While going to... Sorry, my notes are a little sporadic here. I don't have super detailed notes for this section either. I'm glad you survived Vancouver. Yeah, this was a fucking month ago. I had to recover for a bit before telling the story. Yeah, so I take the whole shuttle back to the airport. I find the fucking place that can hold my bags. So then I check in my bags, make sure I have everything. And I tell them, or they ask me, like, when do you think I'll to pick up my bags? And I'm like, okay, so my flight's at 1. Although boarding at 12:35. But I need to be here, like, I was like, you know, I'm guessing probably around 11 to noon. I think that's what I said. I don't remember exactly. Whatever it was, it ended up being wrong. I don't remember what it was, but it was wrong. And I was like an hour later from what I said. But yeah, I find the fucking train thing. I still have one of the fucking cards because you have to buy little cards for the train. What is this? Oh right, I remember what that is now. Yeah, so I take the whole train, and while I am like riding this train to Waterfront, I get an email from Air Canada saying that my rescheduled flight is delayed 20 minutes from how the fuck did I write this? Oh, okay. Yeah, it was delayed 20 minutes from being a 12:35 p.m. like gate opening to, and then 12:45 gate closing to 12:55 p.m. boarding and then 1:05 p.m. So it was the whole thing was delayed 20 minutes. So that was a nice little boost of hope. My flight being delayed 20 minutes. It was fucking nothing, but it was something. Anyway, I get to Waterfront. I'm walking around trying to figure out how to get to this building with my terrible ass service using Google Maps. Coconut Mall. I wish something as cheery as Coconut Mall was playing the whole time. It was definitely something way worse than that. Yeah, so I finally get to this building and I'm like, oh god, there's like the longest line ever. This is terrible. I also realized they have a sign that's like, you know, no electronics allowed, no bags, no nothing. Like, if I didn't check in my bags, I don't know what I would have done, because I guess I would have tried to hide them somewhere and hope no one steals them outside the building. But I realized after a moment of being in line, I'm like, oh wait, this long line is for Canadian citizens. There's like a separate line for like U.S. citizen like problems or something. I'm like, sick. There's no one in this line. So then I go in on that line instead. I talk to like the security officer and I explain the whole situation again. At this point, it's like I have the lines recited by memory of explaining my whole situation because I've explained it so many times at this point. But yeah, so he calls another person and like they call me or whatever and go back and forth for a while. And eventually I'm told that it might actually be possible for me to get like an emergency replacement passport. I need to go get a passport photo though, for the new passport. And luckily there's a place across the street that does passport photos. So I'm told to go do that. I'm like, okay, you know what? Fair enough. So I go all the way over there across the street. It's a busy street though, so I have to like walk far down the thing and then go to the crosswalk and then walk all the way back and then go to the building. Room. There's like 3 people in front. I don't even know who runs this store, but it's like one random old dude, and he definitely has ran that shop for 30 years at least. But there's a few people in front of me trying to get passport photos or whatever. Takes a while, but I'm able to get passport photos for $18 fucking dollars, just for a passport photo, which I think is a little ridiculous. But also, it was in Canadian dollars at first, so it was $24. And I'm like, Jesus fucking Christ. I feel like that's a little overpriced, but maybe that's just me. But yeah, I go all the way back. There's a bit of a line now, or in the US thing, by a bit of a line, there's like 3 people in front of me. It's like, whatever. I eventually get there, and, you know, security guard, I have to like give up like my phone and shit, and I have like a little like wristband with like a number on it to like get my phone and shit back. And because I have to give up my phone, at that point I realize a few things. One, before I give them my phone, I ask like, can I like get my phone in an emergency or something? Because I realize if this takes too long, I won't be able to reschedule my flight. Because I think at this point it's like 9:30 or something. I don't know. Because I need to reschedule. If this takes too long, I have to reschedule my flight before like 11 a.m. basically, because that's 2 hours before. And I think I even set an alarm at like 10:45 to go off to remind me like, hey, you need to reschedule it if it's taking too long. Realistically, if I wanted to be safe, I probably should have just rescheduled it before even doing any of this and just did the 8 p.m. flight. I probably should have just done that. Realistically, though, I don't think that would have worked, because the only reason Salem was able to pick me up from the airport was that Salem's friend was driving, and he wouldn't have been able to do it at night. So I had to at this point. But just remember that alarm going off to remind me to reschedule my flight, because it'll come back up later. Anyway, I go through. There's like so many different security things in this place. Like, this building is kind of terrifying. It's like one of those like 75-story buildings that is like ultra fucking secure, with like security doors in every little thing, and like I'm sure many government secrets are kept in there. But I have to go through like 4 different security things, and then it's a decently long line because I have to go in line with all the other people now for the security stuff. But eventually I'm through all the security. I'm on like a different floor or whatever, and I finally get to a desk where I can actually talk with someone, and they give me multiple forms to like fill out for like information. Like, I think one of them was reporting a lost or stolen passport. One of them was applying for a new passport. I don't know. There's so many different fucking documents and shit. There was a nice little waiting room at least, but and I'm gonna do a little mini rant here for a moment, because the fucking system of just the government of just filling stuff out like this, it is really built against people who like neurodivergent people, ADHD, because like they expect you to fucking know everything about your entire family bloodline and its history for the last 300 years off the top of your head. Because I don't have my phone, I can't like get any more information than I already have. So like some of the things I just can't fill out because I don't remember. Like I don't remember where my dad was born, or like there was little small things everywhere that I couldn't fill out. They said it was fine if I just put out as much as I knew, but like I didn't know what I needed to know before going in fully, so I didn't study up. 15 to 20 is pretty standard for passport photos. Is it really? Okay, well, whatever. Anyway, yeah, that whole thing was really annoying, and it took me a lot of time to fill everything out. But part of me wishes, in retrospect, that it didn't work, and that because I didn't have all the info that I needed, that they didn't let me get a new passport. But we'll get to that later. Anyway, after all of that shit and waiting and all that, I actually they also like they bring me up a second time, and then I have to go back onto like their little computer and then like pay for the new passport and shit. And I somehow miraculously I get an emergency passport. I actually have a new passport, and it's real, and I have it, and it works. Which is unbelievable to me. Is genuinely astounding, and I'm like, it. I think I checked the time, and I think it's, what was the time? Let's see if I can find it. This was one of the things that I should have put in my notes beforehand, but I did not think to. So. Where are you? Where is it? Where? Oh my god, bro. What? Oh, okay. That's right. Okay, so I'm literally just going off of my Discord messages that I sent. But I messaged my family and Salem. I've got it in full caps at 11:12 a.m. But that was after I went out the whole building and got my phone and stuff back. So I probably am leaving there at like 11. So my flight is in 2 hours. So at this point I have to fucking book it because I needed like 30 minutes to take the shuttle to get there. I have to go pick up my bags, and I have to fucking pray. I'm gonna be in the same goddamn position again where I just hope that the security line isn't that long. But I'm just like, all right, I have the fucking passport. I have, and like as I'm like leaving and whatever, and I'm like walking to the station again, I am gripping this thing like there was no tomorrow, even though it is fucking, my hands are freezing and I should probably have them in my pockets or something. I am steadfast on holding this fucking emergency passport. However, I need to pause the music for this one. As I'm getting out of the embassy and I'm walking towards the train station again, I realize I'm gonna try and like tell them that I got my passport or whatever, right? And like my phone, it won't turn on. I'm like, oh, it's like dead, and I have to power it on all the way. I'm like, oh, interesting. They must have had to turn it off because of the alarm that I set. My alarm was probably going off to reschedule my flight. And like some of the security people probably just had to like just shut off my phone to turn it off. So I turn my phone on, and my service is terrible, like while I'm walking back. But after I turn my phone on, and the first notification I get, when I tell you the first notification, the first
fucking notification that my phone decides to give me. It's an email.
From Vancouver Airport. Lost and found. An item matching your submitted missing passport has been located. And at that point, I'm just like, wow. My life is an actual comedy show. I am not even in my reality anymore. I still can't fucking believe this. I still can't fucking believe this. They found my fucking original passport in the airport, and they decided to inform me during the one time I did not have access to my phone. And the worst part, in the email where they said that they found it, the date was yesterday. The date was Monday. The day, like, they said that, like, in the email it says, like, item found March 16th, not 17th. So they found it the day before and didn't tell me until now? Why couldn't you have sent that email at any point during the morning before I went in? Okay, like, realistically, it was probably just using the submission date as, like, the found date. But, like, are you fucking kidding me? And, like, I don't know exactly... Oh, wait, hold on. Actually, it probably does have a timestamp for the email. Bro. The email was at 9:57 a.m. Which would have been... That was less than 30 minutes after they took my phone. Less than 30 minutes after I no longer had access to my phone. That's when they decided to email me that my original passport was found. That's fucking insane. That's actually even more unbelievable than I thought. Yeah, maybe. I don't know. Anyway. That is by far just the biggest fuck you I've ever gotten from the world. Like, it is, like, I actually am, I laugh at it as I'm walking, because, like, there's nothing else I can do at this point. It doesn't matter. And I think it should, like, I'm also in a rush. Like, I don't even care because I don't have time to care, because I have to fucking get to my flight in an hour and a half. And I am, like, so I think maybe it does affect me in some way, because I get fucking lost walking the 3 blocks away from that building back to the train station. It's an underground train station, and I'm just, I don't know, I couldn't fucking find it. So I literally, like, got turned around and I lost like fucking 7 minutes just walking in wrong directions. And then as I'm walking down the stairs into the station, the train leaves away. It leaves at the one that I need to get on. So then I have to wait another full 6 minutes to get on the next one. So I lost like 13 minutes. Just for that, which is very valuable time when you only have like an hour and a half. But yeah, I get on the next train at like 11:25-ish a.m. So yeah, like an hour and a half before my flight. But it's gonna take me like a half an hour to even get back to the airport. Skills to navigate the real life maze. Yeah, you know, true. You know, and as you know, as I sit down in the train again, going back, I'm gonna take a little break from the story for a moment, because for one, I want to start decorating this. Also, I need to go to the bathroom. But we're getting there. We're like 70% through the story, 60%. There's still things that haven't happened yet. Somehow I think probably the craziest things are done now. But There's still so much more that I haven't even mentioned yet. But yeah, I'm gonna go to the bathroom real quick.
Let me play some ads real quick while I do this.
Ugh. Okay, yeah, I'm gonna go to the bathroom real quick. I'll be right back. I have returned. Okay, I need to move my fucking blinds. I keep getting blinded. The sun is starting to set. Well, actually, it's definitely started already, but it's getting to the point where it's blinding me. I have like 1.5 passports? Yeah. Technically, I only have one. I haven't picked up my original one yet. I've just been informed that it was found. Are these the only decoration things on this kit? It was actually kind of a lame kit in terms of decoration. Oh right, the chimney. Probably scrape this off. Alright, well, I'll continue with the story while I hold the chimney in place here. Okay, so, I'm on the tram. And I am trying to... What was my next step here? Oh, right. I need to check in for my flight still. I haven't checked in for my flight. I had checked in for my previous flights because I had done that all, like, the night prior. I had done that before I even left to go to the airport. I did it in this very room. Because you can check in online for a lot of flights now. You don't have to do it at the airport, which is very nice. But while I'm on the tram, I'm trying to check in, but my connection, my service is so astronomically bad that I cannot check in. Like, I have a screenshot of me trying to check in, and it's the funniest shit ever. Where is it? Oh, let me check photos here. Where are you? Oh, there it is. There it is. Let me double check this doesn't have any personal info. Okay, yeah, we're good. Hold on. Look at this. This was me trying to check in. I don't know what I did to the website, but it just didn't like me anymore. It did not enjoy me trying to check in. Anyway, yeah, so I can't check in, so then I'm like, with my barely any service, I'm trying to ask my... What was it? It was, Oh yeah, that was the reason it might have been better if I didn't get my emergency passport, was, you know, the original one being found. It is definitely a slap in the face that I did all of this work to get a replacement passport, and I panicked. If I had literally just submitted the lost and found passport, got a hotel, and just chilled there, and just like fucking vibed and relaxed, and then been like, oh cool, my passport was found, I'll go to the airport and pick it up and get on my next flight. Like, if I had just done nothing, it would have been a lot smoother. The phone is the greatest enemy? Yeah, honestly. My fucking service provider is the greatest enemy. Anyway, while I'm on the tram, what did I ask them to do? Yeah, I asked my parents or Salem to look up if there's like I'm trying to think of anything, any way that I could like make up time. And so I'm asking them to like Google if there's like a secret other security, like which security gate has like the least amount of activity, and like just literally any like tips to get through Vancouver airport faster, just because at this point I've been burned too many times. Oh yeah, also I forgot to mention that Salem's friend that was driving Salem to the airport to pick me up and stuff hadn't actually reconfirmed if picking me up at the same time the next day on Tuesday would work. So I actually still didn't know if I was even going to be okay. I mean, I'd be not in Vancouver, but then I might be waiting for a while there. I don't know. But yeah, yeah, so I couldn't check in. I was able, my shitty ass service was enough to be on the app, and it said that the estimated security wait time was supposedly 0 to 5 minutes. I didn't trust that shit at all, but I mean, it was something, I guess. Yeah, I'm at the airport. I get to the airport at 12:05 p.m., which, as a reminder, is basically exactly an hour before my flight leaves. Oh, hi, Daisy. Because it was delayed 20 minutes. Yeah, boarding time is 12:55 and 1:05 p.m. is gate closing time. So I literally have an hour, less than an hour, basically 50 minutes. So I run to get my fucking bags from the bag holding, which, like, was like 30 to 90 minutes after I said I'd be there to pick them up, but luckily they didn't charge me extra or anything. And Daisy's very confused by my setup. Doesn't know whether or not to go above or below my mic arm. Here, go above. There you go. I made a decision for you. She doesn't know what to do with the table being here. Sorry, I'm amused watching Daisy. Yeah, so I have like 50 minutes. I run, get my bags. It's fine. I get them. And you know, like, I figured it was possible that they could have held on to my passport, my old passport, the one that was found. It was possible that they could have held on to it for like 2 weeks, and then I could have gotten and picked it up on my returning flight. Hi, Daisy. This is the no cat zone. This is gingerbread house area. I love you. I mean, if you want to just chill right there, that's fine, but let's not go to the actual house. But I was like, you know what? Whatever. It's not... If I'm fast, I can just go pick it up. It should be really quick. So I run over to the fucking Lost and Found, even though it's a decent little walk, but whatever. I am efficient with my time, though, because I check in... I do end up checking in on my phone, because now that I have the security, like the airport Wi-Fi, I'm able to do it on my phone while I'm walking to the Lost and Found and back to the Lost and Found to get my old passport. I get there, they have it. It's my old fucking passport. It was the thing that started this all. And I guess I have 2 passports now, so that's great. But I look at the security wait time again, and it says 5 minutes still. Daisy. I don't know what my cat's doing. Yeah, it still says 0 to 5 minutes on the security thing. While I'm like, after I sign in and I'm walking over there, I'm like, could it be possible? Is it possible that I actually I'm able to get through this? But yeah, I get my bags, my fucking passport, which, like, I hope I can get a refund for, because I spent $160-$70 on a new passport for nothing. But you know, that's a problem for future me. As I'm walking to the security terminal again, one of the help desk ladies that I had talked to the day prior recognized me and literally... Oh my god, my fucking mic arm. Okay. Literally recognized me as I was walking by and asked if I had found my passport, which was like, that was just my whole life for a little. Like, it felt like I was there for like a week at some points, and I'm like, oh hey, there's actually a person who recognizes me here. That's crazy. I've been here enough that people are recognizing me at the airport. Anyway, I finally get to the security line, which actually does say that it has a 0 to 5 minute wait. Like, there. And it's empty. I can see that it's empty. I'm like, holy shit. Is it actually... Am I actually going to be able to do this? And I let them scan my boarding pass, and I'm denied. I am, not allowed in. My pass says that the flight was yesterday. Which, like, no duh, I know that. But my rescheduled flight has the same boarding number and everything, so, like, why wouldn't it update? Why wouldn't that work? It's like, okay, whatever. I'll just pull up I'll pull up the new, like, QR code thing or whatever on the app instead of my printed paper. And then I noticed that there's no QR code. There's no boarding pass in the app for this one for some reason. And it says to go. It tells me to go to a kiosk and get an actual like boarding pass printed. I'm like, at this point, I'm about to lose it again. I was like, how is this happening to me again? You always have been able to. You've always let me be able to like do it through the app. Why do I have to print it this time? Whatever. So I go to a kiosk because they're really close by. Whatever. And it gives me an error. It doesn't work. So then I go to the next one, to the left of it. And it also has an error. And it doesn't let me use it. Third time's the charm. I find a kiosk that lets me actually open it. I put in all my info and everything, and it gives a different error. Telling me to get assistance from an Air Canada agent. So then I tried it on a fourth kiosk. And put everything in. And same thing. So it won't let me print my boarding pass, and now I need to get help from someone else. And it's 25 minutes until my flight begins boarding. And I still need to get through security again. So I get into the Air Canada support line for the third time in the last day. And although the previous two times I went, there was like no line, practically. This time there was like 24 people ahead of me. God fucking damn. This is just. At this point, I don't even know why I'm surprised, like, that shit like this is happening. But, yeah, so while in line, I get another email from Air Canada, saying that my flight had been delayed further, from 12:55 p.m. boarding and closing at 1:05 p.m. to 1:10 p.m. boarding and 1:20. So it was delayed 15 minutes. Like, this really is the most, like, it's so Jover, we're so back, like, fucking experience of my life. Like, that image is just, like, let me get the image. This image. This one. That is this entire story, is this image right here. That's what the story is. It's the most, it's so back, it's so over story I've ever just experience I've just ever fucking had. So it's delayed 15 minutes. So I'm like, okay, well, I guess I can go through, I can go, I'm not as worried anymore going through this. And like 10 to 15 minutes later, I get through the line. Luckily the line goes pretty quickly. I get called to one of the help stations. I break it down for them. I start busting it down. No, I break down the whole situation again for like the like probably like 15th time the last day. As quickly and as concisely as I can, because I'm trying to, like, I have a flight soon. I try and tell them that I have a flight soon. And the person helping me is actually so genuinely astounded at my whole story and specifically the part where I went to the US Embassy and actually got an emergency travel document in like 3 hours. They were so astounded, in fact, that 3 other people working around were also astounded, and like everyone was very surprised I was able to get a passport that fast, which makes sense because I was surprised I was able to get a replacement passport that fast. That's on the floor now. Normally you have to wait 800 years to be able to do anything passport related. Sorry, I'm trying to help Daisy be comfy on my bed because she's decided to lay here. Anyway, they print my boarding pass. I get it. Great. Oh. I put this part of the story in twice. That's funny. This is really...
I need the backspace. Okay.
Anyway, I finally have my boarding pass. I go to security. They let me in miraculously with my actual boarding pass that works. Hallelujah. We're actually in. I like run all the way through security because it's just an empty line, and my fucking bag triggers security again. My backpack specifically. It was my backpack last time. So then they have to search the bag. Although this time they actually open it. Like this time they're not just looking at the x-ray. The first time they just look at the x-ray and they're like looking for a little bit and like, alright, you're good. This time they actually started unzipping shit and like looking in there and taking shit out. Which I guess that shows you that it kind of depends on what TSA agent you get. Like, it kind of just depends on the person, how thorough they're going to be. Are you still wearing two coats this whole time? Pretty much, yeah. I mean, I think I had taken one off and was like holding it, but yeah. I was pretty much wearing the two coats. Anyway, while I'm waiting for them to search through it, one of the security officers also recognizes me from yesterday and asks if I found my passport. I briefly explained what had happened since then, because I think that was one of the first people I had talked to when I like was first missing my passport. When I was requesting them to like look through the X-ray to see if they had seen anything. Anyway, I briefly explain it and say something. I'm pretty sure I said something like incredibly concerning, of like, this has been the worst day of my life and I cannot wait to leave this place. I don't remember exactly what I said, but deck of cards. That is weird. I don't even remember what they saw that tripped it this time. To be honest, I don't even remember what it was. Anyway, my bag's finally good to go. Whatever. We're good. I start going in my gate, which is like literally like 2 gates away from my original one. Oh yeah, I forgot to mention, ever since basically getting on the tram back to the airport and like getting to my bags and stuff, I'm like actually starting to be sore. Like my left hip, shoulders, and back are like actually sore and like hurting at this point from how much I've been running around dragging heavy bags the last day. And getting to my gate, it is like I'm borderline limping a little bit, and I'm like, whatever, I don't fucking care. I'll be sitting here. Don't care. But yeah, it's not great. And what was it? Okay, what was it? Okay. Yeah, so I get there. I'm at my gate at 1:07 p.m. I believe, maybe 1:06, 1:05. I actually fucking made it. If either of my flight delays didn't happen, I would not have made it. If either of the flight, like, I had 2 delays to my flight. For, like, one was a technical issue and one I think was a scheduling issue. If either of them didn't make it, or if either of them didn't happen, I would not have made it. Because I made it, like, as they were boarding, like, starting boarding, pretty much. And I am actually boarding the plane, and I show my emergency passport, and I'm actually on. And I get on the plane, and 24 hours later, I'm out of Vancouver and I leave. Finally. I can put this behind me. Except that that's not the end of the story. It was the end of the story for now. That was season 1, I guess, because everything was fine until my return flights coming back from Canada. Then it came back with a vengeance. My whole travel problems were not yet done. but for the most part, all of the main like at least the other like I had a week and a half or almost 2 weeks in Canada. I didn't have to think about it, and I lost like a full day with Salem in Canada, but it was whatever, and I lost like $250, or actually probably like $300 because of the hotel as well. But Nightmare Travel DLC, I know. Yeah, so on my way back, after being dropped off at the airport by Salem, and you know, the airport there is very small, so it's just one little security thing, and I'm going through, and then there's like, they check my bag again, like I somehow tripped the security sensor again. Like, I don't understand. I don't know what it is, but I trip every security scanner I've ever gone through. I don't know what it is, and not just on my bags. Like the actual metal detector that I walk through, I somehow trigger that too. And it's always like in the most random ass locations. One of them I think was my necklace. But another, like, for specifically in my crotch, there's always metal detected, and I don't know. Maybe I have a metal ass or something. I don't fucking know. But literally, out of the times I've gone through a metal detector, I'm pretty sure I've tripped like 10 out of 14 of them. I don't know. But anyway, they check my, they do like a full thorough bag search again, and they tell me that I was selected for enhanced security screening by my flight or something. Like I was randomly chosen. Like supposedly I was randomly chosen, but I feel like it was because I rescheduled my flight that I was selected for like enhanced screening, security screening on my way back. So they check both my bags, and they do like a pat down shit and whatever. Like I don't care, but of course that happens. And the one there is fine. It's whatever. It's a little annoying, but it's not that bad. But the one that's worse is in Vancouver Airport. Once again, it's in Vancouver Airport. But after taking my first flight on my way back, I once again have like an hour and a half between flights, and I am going through, and I forget exactly what it was. I think it was, oh yeah, no, the security screening took, no, sorry, I'm trying to remember. I don't have notes about this section at all, so I'm kind of just having to remember. Oh, that's right, that's what it was. I landed and I went through, and because it was an international flight, I have to like, you know, show them my passport and like state the reason for why I was here and why I'm leaving or whatever. I don't know exactly how they operate, but I tell them my whole situation. Like I give them my documents, and they're like, "Why do you have emergency passport? What happened?" And I'm like, "Oh, well, I lost my whole passport, and then I went to get a new one, and then my old one was found, and then I have this new one. Yay!" And they're like, "Do you have your old one?" I'm like, "Oh yeah." So I have my old one. I'm like, I figured this would happen at some point because you're not supposed to have two passports. The whole point is that passport is a unique identification thing. You're not supposed to have two passports. So because I had two passports, I was put into a secondary extra security room, like a whole separate area. And I have to, I'm like sitting there waiting because there's only a few people in there. And I'm just waiting because there's like literally almost no one even working this thing. Luckily there's only a few people in there ahead of me. But I'm like looking at the time, and I'm like I'm watching the time tick over. I don't remember exactly what time it was, but I think it was nearing like 20-30 minutes before my boarding time again, and I'm like, I'm gonna get up and start fucking asking for someone like any minute now if no one fucking calls me at this point, because I'm not going through this again. Actually, I think it was longer than that. I think it was 45 minutes. I think in my head I was like, if no one calls me by the time it's like 45 minutes until my boarding time, I am just going to start yelling for people. But eventually I get seen by someone, and basically, long story short, they have to destroy the old passport because it's just no longer valid. As soon as they made the new one, the old one was no longer valid. And they kept it, and then they gave me my emergency passport back. and they let me go on my merry way, except that I still have to go through normal security again to get on the flight. So at this point, I don't have my old passport, and I know I'm never getting a refund for that now either. I spent $160, $170 on a new passport, and that's just what happened. There's no way of getting that money back ever, unfortunately. And then I go through security again, and because I was still selected for enhanced security screening by my fucking airline, both bags, they have to check it again, and then they have to like check me again, and like they're having me check the most random shit ever. I have to show them the Bluetooth keyboard that I brought. I think it's because people might bring like electronics in like disguised as weapons or bombs or something. So they have me like turn on the electronics to make sure they're working. Specifically, my Bluetooth thin keyboard that I brought. I just turn on like the on button and I show them on the blinking light of it trying to connect. And they have me plug in my whole microphone. This thing. I have to like take the whole fucking microphone out and then like get the fucking plug, and I have to ask them like, do you have like a fucking outlet that I can plug this into? Because it's not a normal charger. It plugs into my computer. It's a USB A to whatever the mini USB that Blue Yeti uses. I don't know. But then I have to plug it in and show them the mic, like the red muted button. This. You can't even fucking see it. Whatever. Oh wait, hold on. I know how you can see it. This. I was trying to show them that so that they could see that it was working. And meanwhile, I have to before they even check my my bag and like tell me that I need to check these things, there is another lady that gets her bag flagged or something behind me, and like it's rare that I get to see an actual Karen in real life, but boy howdy was this a Karen, because they were checking stuff and like there was this little dent in like this cup or something that I don't even think the airport people did, but she was fucking livid that this happened, and she was like, this is a 50-year-old, like 50-year Starbucks anniversary cup I'm getting for a gift, like blah blah blah. And like I'm like, are you? Normally this would be kind of just funny seeing this and just annoying, like slightly annoying, but she's holding them up so they don't check my shit. And I'm limited on time here, and I'm like, every moment that passes that she's complaining longer and they can't check my shit, I'm starting to lose it a little bit, because I'm not going through this again. I'm not missing my flight again. Luckily, she eventually fucking leaves, and I'm able to go, and I have to like put all my shit back in my bag again, which is annoying. But yeah, in the end, it was not that bad, but there was extra fucking shit getting back. You only have the emergency passport now? Yes. I guess that's the ending of this, because I went through the security and I got to my flight. I did not have much time, for the record. I got to my last flight back home, but I did not have much extra time left. But that technically isn't the full end to the story, because the fucking cascade of things from this are still affecting me. For example, the main thing, I still have an emergency passport. Not a real one. Not a full actual normal passport. So I still have to go through the process of turning this into a normal passport. So I'm still not done with this whole experience because I haven't done this yet. Granted, this thing expires in a year, so I have time. And also, supposedly the process of turning an emergency passport into a normal one is free. Luckily, it might take a while, but I'm still not done with this. I still haven't been able to put this all behind me quite yet, and luckily I can more so now that I finally at least told this story. I also haven't fucking decorated this at all yet. I realize that, but yeah, I think that's everything. There's probably little details in there that I have missed, but there was just so much stuff that happened in 24 hours. And TLDR, don't lose your fucking passport. Make sure you know where that is at all times and check constantly. And also, maybe have longer than an hour and a half of a layover between flights. I thought an hour and a half would have been plenty of time. But it was not. And you know, let me pause the music here for a second. You're probably wondering why I waited so long to tell this story, because this literally was a month ago, and I've been back from Canada for a while. This is now the life updates of from Evan part of the stream. Just for a moment, we'll get into decorating the gingerbread house and playing games or whatever. But just I'm gonna be real for a little bit, for just a few minutes here. The reason I have not talked about this story for a while, ever since I got back, I had planned to do it as my first stream back from Canada, but for one, I started my new job like a day after I got back from Canada, and I don't know however up to date you guys are on that whole situation, but I was working there for 11 days and I only had like 5 or 6 shifts of training until I just out of the blue got fired for no fucking reason other than the bullshit reasons that they gave, which was definitely not the actual reason. Because I had never received any warning or anything. It was just, you're gone. So that was annoying. That was not great. And honestly, this whole story, the passport story, me calling it the worst 24 hours of my life, it feels like so little in comparison now to what everything that's happened over the last month and a half, because there's that, and then I got, laid off, and then also, like, going back and forth. I'm not gonna go into the details on stream and stuff. It's not my place to say or whatever, but the whole long and short of it is, I haven't actually stated it publicly, but I mean, like, if you asked about it, I would have answered. Me and Salem are no longer dating. We broke up like almost 2 weeks ago now. And that's the reason that I didn't talk about the story for a while, because it felt weird to talk about the story when because for like 2 weeks we were in like a spot where we didn't really know what we wanted to do. And I realized that sounds really weird to say that right after that whole, like, I visited Salem for fucking 2 weeks and then now we're not together anymore. I know that's weird. There's so many things that go into it. We're still good friends. We're on good terms, and you'll still see Salem on stream and hanging out here. We're just not dating anymore. It's gonna be a little weird for a little bit. It has been a little weird for a little bit, but we're moving on. It's okay. We're still very good friends, and we still care about each other a lot. But long distance is hard. Everyone will tell you that long distance is a very hard thing to do, and it is. But yeah, that is the reason that I've not talked about this for so long, because it felt really weird to talk about while I didn't really know my whole status with Salem. And because I was busy with my job. There was another piece of plastic I dropped on the ground here earlier, and I cannot find it. Yeah, that shit's gone. Whatever. But yeah, so it's been a rough month and a half, basically. There's been a lot of ups and downs for sure. So I'm still kind of in a weird place, honestly. I also went to Oregon for 2 days just now. I got back from that yesterday. I'll probably post some stuff about that. But yeah, I went to Oregon with my mom. It was kind of supposed to be like a graduation vacation thing, since I graduated a few months ago. But anyway, yeah, so it's gonna be a little weird for a bit, but it's fine. Anyway, let's get back to decorating this. But yeah, there's been a lot of stuff going on in my life over the last month. Like, it felt like it kind of feels like I've been through all of 2026 already. Like, it feels like I just speed ran everything. And I'm only like a third through the year. So here we are. Now it's time to decorate. But yeah.
So if you're wondering why my streams were so sporadic for a little bit, and also why, I think I mentioned on stream a while ago that there was just some things I didn't want to talk about yet, and it was mostly the stuff with me and Salem, but yeah, there's a lot, but I ain't gonna get too trauma dumpy or parasocial on you guys. If anything, all of the experiences I've had lately have actually helped me reach out to people a lot more. Like the whole me doing Slime Rancher 2 multiplayer with Caspian thing, that would not have happened if not for me and Salem breaking up, and I've been hanging out with friends that I have been meaning to hang out with a lot more recently. So there's some good stuff to come out of all of it. And then the shoe issues on top of all that. Oh my god. I forgot you know about that, Simez. I forgot you witnessed that whole... Yeah, oh my god, I forgot about that. That was the day I came back. I forgot you were there when I retold that whole story. I should probably decorate the other side first, actually, before the icing gets all dry. Oh, hold on. Let me get the alternate angle up and going. That's too high. Oh, perfect. Perfect angle. How do I do this without touching the frosting? Ah. I saw r/ not the onion headline that says 6% of people wear the wrong shoe size and almost sent it to Evan. You should have, honestly. That would have been funny. Anyway, yeah, so my year's not off to the greatest start, but I don't know. It also was and is still. I don't know. It's really weird because like my whole trip with Salem in Canada, like neither of us regretted or anything, and we had a very good time. But then like the end result not being that, I don't know, it's weird. But yeah, point being, you know, me and Salem are on very good terms, and you'll still be seeing them around a lot. Which is kind of funny because it's a little weird for Salem because it's the first like relationship that Salem's ever had where that is the case. You know, I think a lot of people who break up with people, that's the last time you ever see them, you know? I think it's pretty rare to break up and remain friends with your partner. But I mean, that's kind of how you know that it was a mature thing for us to do. Okay, see, now it's kind of weird. There's just this gap in the middle. Been single my whole life, by the way. Yeah. Well, this was my first ever relationship, and it lasted just about 2 years. Yeah, I mean, I'm sure it'll be nice for a little bit. But it's also, like, it's weird because when you're in a relationship long distance, it kind of feels like you're single already sometimes. And also, like, I've definitely realized that, like, partnership and all that, like, that is something that I definitely desire in life. I used to think I didn't. And then I watched a fucking Owl House, and then it just deconstructed my entire identity as of a person at the time, so. I just realized I'm doing this without the camera angle being able to see it. Shit. Not bad. This is really lazy piping. And also, like, significantly uglier than the other side of the roof. Maybe that's why I'm not showing it. I don't want you guys to see my work. Ooh. Yeah, that's bad. Life's one whole big learning experience. Yeah. It's cool we get the front door, yeah. Here, I'll show you the brain. Yeah. Actually, let me oh no. I should do this while the frosting is wet. Since I'm done with the story, I'm not going to be going that crazy with the gingerbread house decorating. Since I kind of plan to be done with both at the same time. But also, like, they also just don't give me that much. Like, the Halloween kit and stuff that I've done before, they normally give me a bunch of different shit to decorate with. This is literally just 2 little bags of, like, stuff. All the orange ones that I should show you. Anyway, yeah, it's been weird. My life has definitely taken a turn that I wasn't expecting, or actually taken a lot of turns lately with the whole passport story. But you know, I think one of the most important things to keep in mind, just in life and in general, is to just realize that everything you experience is a learning experience for sure. Like, it's kind of what Ash was saying. Like, I wasn't actually really freaking out that much when I was lost in Vancouver. Except for that, like, moment when I was sitting down early on. I was stressed, don't get me wrong, but, like, I think at the end of the day I knew that, like, everything would be fine. Like, as long as you know some things will stay okay, or, like, you know, certain things will always be true, then it's a lot easier to, like, get through hard times. At least for me. I mean, hell, like, me and Salem breaking up, like, it doesn't even feel like we're really that broken up sometimes, just because we both still really, really care about each other. and we always will. So it almost doesn't even feel like we're broken up a little bit. Mountain switchback at life? Yeah. Biggest question of the day. Why the fuck do you have a gingerbread house in late April? Yeah, I said at the start of stream. I forgot about it. I got it at the original... I got it, like... in, like, beginning of December. And then forgot about it entirely until, like, January or February. And I was gonna do it for Valentine's Day, and then... I don't know. There was a few reasons why. I don't remember exactly all of them, but... I've had it since December. That's the main thing to know. Oh. Okay, I guess that goes there now. Fuck. Anyway, yeah, so right now I technically am unemployed and single, so if you're wondering why I've been streaming so much lately, here's your answer. But what it has done is really made me, at first it didn't, but it has made me much more motivated to do videos and stuff again, because, like, I don't know. I need some kind of, like, creative outlet, you know? See that. Okay, I think it's pretty safe to say we got the top pretty decorated at this point. Look at that. Pretty nice. Kind of running out of icing here, but I will try and do a bit of decorating on the front. I might do something similar that I did with the Halloween house and kind of just only really worry about the front. Oh wait, you guys can't see this. Eh. Webcam, please. There we go. Good enough. Bro, I swear my icing was better before I started showing it. Doesn't help that the hole I have made is, like, absolutely terrible. These are some goopy windows. I'll be the first to admit it. Wow. That is pretty bad. I don't even think anything I stick on here is gonna stay, but I can try how heavy icicles are pooping. I don't even know why I'm doing these. It's like the worst thing I could be doing. Look really stupid. And also probably won't stay. Hey, look at that. It's not staying. Who would have guessed? You know what? I think... Okay. Yeah. I think I might call that. Like catching falling frosting. You know what? The roof looks good. Look at that roof. I'm happy with that. All right. Okay, yeah. I think that's good. Oh, actually, here, let me do the one final little look-see at it. Very nice. Okay, now I need to turn my fan on because it is 100 billion degrees in here and I'm dying of heat stroke. What should I play? Should I do a poll? Or should I just do Celeste or Lethal? Let's do a poll. I think that's good. Anything else I want to include in there? No. I do want to start my next, like, actual single-player game soon, but for now, that'll do. I need to get a VR headset, Ash. Are we racing next? You want to do more bingo? Last bingo was actually really fun, honestly. Yeah, I just realized I made the front the back and the back the front. Because this side has the little, like, stairs. Oh, I can't even pick it up. It's got the little steps. You can't even see it on stream. Whatever.
Clean. You don't have one? No, I never owned one. I was just loaning one from a friend. Although maybe I could loan it again. I do have a pair of Fox socks that I got Valerie. Maybe I can bribe Valerie with Fox socks for her to give me her VR headset again. Oh yeah, while I was on vacation in Oregon, I got really into doing a puzzle because I haven't done a puzzle in so long, and I'm trying to get back into doing puzzles now. I kind of want to get back into doing puzzles. Puzzles are fun. I got this new puzzle. I'm gonna start it soon. I feel like it's a good way of getting me off the screens and shit. I'm probably gonna like try and make it like part of my morning routine. Puzzle stream? I don't know how I would do that. How would I get a surface to do that? Sorry, I'm like all the way up here. The sun. Oh, also, another cool thing I got in Oregon. Check out this book. Check out this cool, sick fucking book. Open it, and then my scroll, my notes of ancient origin. Yeah, it's like an actual like leather cover. Got a dragon on it. Like scales on the back. My plan is to use it for like D&D notes, but I might use it for something else too. And like the actual like pages inside and stuff, they're like, I don't even know what kind of paper, but the kind of paper to make it feel like old paper. But honestly, this little like locking mechanism is the coolest part. Like, here we go. Got this cool thing. Anyway. Just put like one of those plastic mats on the floor. Okay, you understand the issue, right? That means I have to complete the puzzle that stream, right? Because if I don't, then I just have a fucking puzzle on the floor. There's no way that's staying like that. There we go. Back to normal microphone volume. Ugh. 1,000 piece puzzle seems about one stream length if you do long streams. I don't know if I'd want to do it like that though, you know? I feel like for puzzles I'd rather enjoy it over like multiple sessions, you know? Alright, what's this poll looking like? Crossover collab makes sense. I was kind of planning on doing crossover collab. Because I'm probably gonna do Colton Lab tomorrow. Although, I don't know, I haven't asked Salem. Alright. I need to, oh god, my chat appearance is so fucked up now. Do you have a floor? I didn't realize, I didn't see that message. I didn't see the setup message. The do you have a floor message is actually way funnier. Oh, you're right. Man, it's so much funnier for you to have asked, do you have a floor? But it makes sense that you wouldn't. Alright. I'm gonna be right back, run some ads, let the poll go through. Make sure to vote on the poll. We only got a few minutes left. But, yeah. I'll be right back. Sorry, I realized Cyber started Metal and just picked up the pace, but whatever. We're back.